Let's stay in Nigeria, where the country sent a record-breaking 1,411 delegates to COP28, the largest in Africa or from Africa, and the third largest overall in terms of attendance at that conference. So this comes at a time of economic hardship for the country, raising questions about the priorities of the government. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has made numerous international trips since taking office, with limited transparency about the size and cost of his delegations. About 97,000 delegates registered to attend in person, with another 3,000 registering to participate virtually. This makes it the largest COP conference in history and almost twice the number that traveled to Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt for COP27 last year, the previous largest in an almost 30-year history of summits. Nigeria's large delegation also came to light due to the publication of a list of registered participants by the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Well, Ejike Okpa is a global affairs analyst. He joins me now to further discuss this. Dr. Okpa, thank you very much for your time.
Was calling me a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm a patient.
All right. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? On that very light note, what are the implications of Nigeria, having this largest African delegation to COP28 in Dubai, alongside the likes of China, as far as the number of delegates are concerned?
I'm trying to process that and like thinking, how many people do you really need to accompany the president to a summit? Is it 10? Is it 590? Is it 1,400? I mean, who is paying for this? Who is sponsoring this? What are they going to be doing? How many people actually attended this summit? So, are there thousands, like 10,000 or 20,000, and then Nigeria wants to top the list with that number of delegations? I still haven't figured that out. But let's just go to the policy of travel restraints. So how does the president get to travel? And, who sponsors the trip? For instance, in the case of the U.S., there's what they call the White House travel budget, which limits how much and where and maybe the frequency of travel the president can do on Air Force One. So in the case of Nigeria, since President Tinubu has taken office, I don't know how many trips he's made abroad, and there is no restriction, there's no funding. I think this is where in the Nigerian Senate or the House of Representatives or Committee on Foreign Affairs or whatever should come back and generate a formula in terms of budget. If people want to accompany the president, that's at their own expense. But if the Nigerian people are going to sponsor the president to go and speak on their behalf, that has got to be a limit as to how much and how many people are going to accompany him.
All right, interesting. But given Nigeria's economic challenges, you talk about the high cost of participation. What would you say, what justifications or motives would you say could be the underlying factors behind the decision to field such a substantial delegation?
When you deal with government that doesn't care about the welfare of the people, they just want to put up an image. Obviously, things are going to be done the way Nigeria gets to do it. If the president is really concerned about the welfare of Nigerians, and since he's taken over, has gone through the court, and now they say you're the new captain of the ship, he's supposed to endear himself to Nigerians. He's supposed to speak to them. And some of these things, he say, you know what, I'll send my minister of this or minister of that and sit at home and go around the country and talk with Nigerians and say, this is the policy. I want you guys to support me. I mean it with you. But I don't think he has done that. What Nigerians get to see anytime they turn on to the TV or their source of news is to see the president is in India or is in some part of the world. And the Nigerians are saying, well, but you're not talking with us. And then, it's one of these runaway sort of things that happens in developing country where the head of state, decides and dictates what he does. I'm hoping that the Nigerian legislative body, especially the House of Representatives and the Senate, will come in now and begin to put some sort of restriction and leash on where the president can go. And the way you do that is to restrict his access to Nigerian money. He has to have a budget on running Aso Rock and anything he has to do. That's got to be, you have to cut the access to the purse, because the Nigerian politicians don't have any limitation on the purse. The purse in this case is the public money, so they dip their hand and they use it and they do whatever they want. Once you restrict them and you clip that desire to do as they wish, maybe they start to think, strategically what it is they can do. And it's not everything. You don't just show up at everything. You have to limit your presence and create this appearance that, you know what, Nigeria is the most important responsibility I have. All these other World Summits, I can attend if it really makes sense. If not, I'll send my ambassador, my minister. That is how, scarcity creates what? Desire. But if you are everywhere, nobody's going to care about you.
All right, Ejike, thank you so much for your time. It's been quite interesting talking to you, and we'll wait to hear what the government has to say further on this. Ejike Okpa is a global affairs analyst. He joined us from the United States of America and the state of Texas, to be precise. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.